the show where we talk about dice camera action, and we just watched episode 101. With me today is, let's see, Aya, how are you?
Scared and terrified. Simon is a good boy, okay?
Rena?
I'm doing well for as much as you can be after an emotional dice camera action episode.
Hi Lisa. Thank you for popping in. And Simon is getting a timeout now. Well, we're gonna talk all about that. And Shauna, how are you?
Good.
Okay.
And I thought that Chris said there are too many pets. I didn't think how he would be so efficient in getting rid of them.
So, what I'd like to do, I think, Shauna, if you can you recap the show? And then I just want to hear what everybody thinks. And then also people in the chat, let me know what you think, 'cause I'm very interested in hearing everybody's opinions on their decision that they made. So, Shauna, can you recap this show real quick?
All right, so they start back in Nightstone from episode 100. And they actually just banish Van Richten, like Paulton banishes Van Richten, and they all head back on a cart with a donkey named Lance leading it back to the city of Waterdeep, where they kind of like get resettled. They find out they have more than a few like squatters in there. Some wanted to be there, some didn't because later on. But first Strix and Paulton had a lighthearted chair fight, and then we discover that that Simon kidnapped a child for unknown reasons. And the rest of the episode was on what they would do basically to fess up for it. So they took the kid home, and they got off really easily. They only got off with Evelyn having to give up Juniper. And they head back to the manor. Strix decides the most direct way of getting rid of evidence is to blow up the turret of their house. And they discover that Waffles is missing via a note with a knife in it.
And it was the Xanathar's gang that
Yep. So there is... all the Waffle pets are gone.
Wow. Matt Fardigan, hello. Dan is a nerd. Simon wants to be... Yeah, it got real depressing, which we'll get into in a second.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Bad 007. I don't know what to think about the Simon ordeal. Like, I feel for him, but kidnapping, question mark. Okay. Pretzel Mafia. This is why they need their leader. If Diaz was here, it would have been a completely different episode.
It really would have been.
There would have been no Simon.
We probably would have had Civil War 2. Probably.
Oh, God.
Probably. So, I'm very interested to hear what everybody thinks. Who wants to... Aya, why don't you tell me what you think?
Okay, I think this was a long time coming. Like, Simon has been, like, on this, like, I want to be a real boy thing since, like, when they got him the second time. Pretty much, like, after those 50 years in Barovia. You know, like, he wants to be Paulton's son. He wants to be a real boy for him, you know. He wants to grow up and make human friends. And I don't know why, like, he had, like, it's such kid logic. Like my brother wouldn't kidnap anybody, but like he'll be like, why did you like take that bird home, son? Like, why did you do that? Like, kind of thing. Like, I don't know, like, I wanted to experiment. But like, it's such kid logic, so like it's odd. And it's just, Simon is just very powerful, so he does not realize like how like he affects things. Also, Paulton told him to sniper rifle kids only if they were mean to him, so who knows?
Oh, no. A whole bunch of comments. D-Stunna, I don't think Simon is getting away scot-free. I don't either. Matt Fardigan is at a loss for words. Bad 007. Dwarf Boy went back to the Xanathar and took... Oh, that's crazy.
That makes a lot of sense.
Noska could have been the one to take Waffles.
They did try to charge him 20 gold a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he held the coin up over his head, which was very, very rude. Pretzel Mafia, this makes me love Simon even more. Kaylee, Joyo, Diaz would have gotten there eventually, but he would have had to really had to think about where to start. So, Rena, what did you think about this?
I was on a roller coaster ride of emotions
Mm-hmm.
there throughout the whole thing, especially since the beginning. Half of it was, let's get drunk and fight
Yeah,
chairs.
it was hilarious. The
Oh,
first,
that was
the
great, and I
first
was
30
expecting
minutes.
all that, just good, happy, fun times. I should have known better.
Chris was not lying when he said it was gonna get real sad real soon.
Yeah. Yeah, with the whole, it's like Simon kidnapped a kid. That instantly, I'm like, no. And then I still don't know what to think about that. Just like,
Mm-hmm.
that's horrible. I get why he did it, sort of like a little bit, in that he either was trying to do. It looked to me like he was trying to pull a Strix and figure out magically how to do something
Mm-hmm.
with the drawings. And then it's like, yeah, he wants to be a real boy. That's the extent I got from that. But the reasoning behind it is just, what
Mm-hmm.
the heck?
Bad 007.
Throughout the whole thing.
Bad 007 says Perkins said that them being rude to him already came back to bite them. I missed that part.
Yeah.
Kaylee Joyo. I can't wait for the fan art of. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about making
Yeah.
fan art of Strix and Paul and chair fighting.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Like a,
It was
like
good.
a Dragon Ball Z kind of a Paul.
I want to
Usually-
say Magnus absolutely would be in this chair fight and
Yeah.
absolutely would crush everybody.
Yeah. I don't
Really?
think Magnus cares as much as they think Magnus cares about it.
Yeah.
No, he's a rough boy. He wants to fight.
Yeah. He's a destructive villain.
Yeah.
So,
Based off of his of Magnus's negotiating capabilities, I'm not too worried about his worrying about how the house is.
Nah.
The house is insured. He made sure.
Yeah, he's also a really nice guy. Like, he won't
he
care.
seems really laid back. So.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's destroyed a couple houses in his time, so
Oh.
like.
Shauna, what did you think?
I was not surprised there was a child in there. Like, I was afraid that it was just gonna be like, it's gonna be a child. But man, yeah, I guess, considering what Simon's been picking up from them, like hanging around Strix for basically 50 years, dealing with her and having Paulton just basically not the dark kids. I'm not surprised that's what he's doing. Also, the fact that I just realized that, how do they know this is the only kid?
Yeah, there could be. Yeah.
They didn't ask him about that.
If there was like a kid in the floorboards or something up in the tower, the kid is
We don't
dead
know.
now. So.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Also, yeah, Simon's had some like stressful times recently where he had a taste of being partially like being able to speak,
Yeah.
and he also
He
died.
loved it, and then he died, and then he can't
True.
again.
All right. So.
Go ahead. We all know how you feel about Simon.
Yes.
So
Our
ready? All
Neutral
right.
Evil puppet.
Yeah. Right. Simon was evil from the beginning, right? They rolled him out of a carpet, and I think that's the same episode or the next episode. He killed a kid with a dart. Just killed a little kid. He didn't think anything of it. And there was a time during a battle where I think he attacked Strix. And there's been other just weird little things here and there. And so the thing about it, here's my question about Simon. Oh, first of all, to me, I would like to know what your characters, if you were playing, what you would have done. So they had a choice to make, right? They were given Simon kidnapped the kid, and I mean, they found a chest, and there's a little kid tied up in the chest, and there's holes.
Mhm.
I mean, that's really, really bad. That's creepy, like horrible, bad. At least Chris didn't describe like that the kid had to go to the bathroom in there, or he's got all these darts in him. Nothing like that. But it's like, was he darted all the time? I mean, what exactly? You know what I mean? We didn't get all the specifics, thank God. So you got that, and then it's like Paulton and Strix seemed ready to try to just cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
But Evil and the Paladin was like, okay, no, we gotta Got to just go bring this person back, bring the kid back, and then Chris explains the ramifications. And I don't think Evelyn's lawful good, right? I think she's neutral good. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think she's lawful neutral, actually.
Oh,
Or at
well.
least she was supposed to be.
I have the thing. Yeah, I think she's neutral good. I think. 'Cause I don't think
Yeah,
she's
she's
on the
neutral good.
So to me, it was like, to me, a paladin should have just sucked it up and turned the kid in, and you know what I mean.
Mhm.
What are you gonna do? It's too late. The kid did something horrible. This little kid knew, and so when they go to the door, and the kid gives them a way out.
Mhm.
But now he's gonna, he's got them over a barrel, sort of. And it's just like, to me, this is another incident where they created a mess and they didn't clean it up,
Oh yeah.
right? Like even when they import Nine Zara with the wave and all that stuff, they didn't go back. They
Mhm.
just left it. This is and this one is really bad because this kid knows something that could ruin all of them. And I mean,
Yeah.
Evelyn could have just stepped forward and I mean, I know it sucks, but she would have had to, who knows, go to jail.
Mhm.
And the kid would have been destroyed. But you know what? If Simon is destroyed, right?
Mhm.
Couldn't they cast reincarnate, and then he would be brought back as a random race?
Maybe. Mhm.
Oh.
Maybe.
So it might have been okay for him to be
Mhm.
destroyed.
I think
Oh.
with the punishment thing, I think we're looking at maybe at the wrong angle because concerning Evelyn's family is money gets you out of a lot of things in Waterdeep.
Do you think Simon knew that he can get reincarnated?
Probably.
He spent a lot of time with Strix studying magic.
I don't remember. When he could talk, that was because he was in the Soulmonger, but then he got brought back to life. Is that right?
Mhm.
So wait, how did I don't remember that one? How did he get brought back to
Omen
life?
brought him back with
Oh,
in the same thing as Evelyn.
Yeah, at the same time,
Well,
like
then-
right after.
Omen could have done that again, couldn't he?
I think anybody could do that. Evelyn's
Yeah.
getting there.
Evelyn
Evelyn's getting
has-
there.
But the bad part is, I mean, Evelyn might have had to go to prison.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, why is Paulton not gonna go to prison? He's his dad. Like,
Yeah, Paulton's gonna go to jail.
Because
not
Paul
Evelyn.
is chaotic neutral and he doesn't care. That's why.
But I
That's
mean,
fair.
Evelyn's with the church, and she's from
Should.
A.
This is Paulton. To me, this is Paulton's fault. Paulton is the one who brought this kid in. Paulton ignored all that stuff.
Yeah.
Paulton was in charge of looking after him. And I mean, I don't think there's any way he could have stopped this. It's just, but ultimately this is sort of on him. The really depressing part about this was, I'm glad Chris didn't clarify if Simon was running in front of the horse on purpose to get trampled.
He stopped.
Ugh.
yeah, and then
He stopped right in front of the cart.
Yeah.
And then he was calculating if he can jump off the roof.
That is so.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to get destroyed.
He knew I think partially he knew he messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like again, it's such kid logic. He's just taking it to the extreme because that's what Simon does.
Mhm.
Like that one time he hit Strix, I think it was because she was upset with Paulton. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So it's kind of like so it's a weird thing because it's like, I mean, I think Simon is just evil. The question is like, does Simon have a moral compass? That's kind of my question.
I think he does to an extent. Like, isn't in Piddlewick 2 stat block, isn't it that he just wants to make friends?
Yeah.
Paulton was his first friend
Mm-hmm.
and his only friend for a while, especially with how the party acted around him.
Yeah.
So every single thing that he did leading up to around where DF and Strix and Evelyn were getting used to him and accepting him was to protect Paulton as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Going back and not having seen those episodes in a long time.
I mean, like, yeah, that's pretty much it. And his look at his role models, like Paulton and Strix for 50 years. So, like, the only person that would really have a moral compass that was near him is Evelyn. MDS, who he hates.
That's a
So,
It's a weird thing. He was alive for 50 years
Mhm.
with Strix in Barovia, but he's still a little kid, right? And that
Yeah.
I guess that's just the magic of how it is. But still, he had 50 years to learn things from
Yeah.
Strix. He did seem to learn a bit, but he didn't grow like mentally.
Yeah. I mean, they were isolated for a great portion of that time, so I think it just probably stayed the same for most of that time. So I don't think there's any room for either of them to kind of like,
Mhm.
learn.
Okay, I missed a bunch of comments. Let's see. Simon makes things interesting. Simon, yes, true.
True.
Yeah.
But as a player, if I was in the game, I would not want. I mean, because if I'm playing a good guy,
hmm
I wouldn't want Simon around. I just wouldn't. Or you
Yeah,
got to put
I
him
was
through
with DF at the
put him
beginning,
through an intense like training program, and try to turn him around.
like training like
I'm like imagining our group trying to deal with that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh god.
I'm thinking like, what character? Because some of them just hate children.
Matt Fartigan, Simon is evil, or at least Piddlewick 2 is. I imagine Simon didn't care about. Is the kid's name Martim with an M? Is
I
that
thought it was Martin.
Martin,
Martin.
I think.
Oh. Welfare as much as what Paulton and Evelyn thought about his actions. Spiegelstern, I really like the conflict he created between Paulton and Evelyn. Yeah, that Evelyn slapped
Yeah.
Paulton.
hmm
Slapped
Well,
him.
yeah.
I mean, he did like, we should kill this kid.
He did say
Oh
that.
good, yes.
Chaotic neutral.
did, and I was like,
I
I'm on
approve.
Evelyn's side for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's like they both like each other, but they still have so much to like work out between each other that
Mhm.
Evelyn just like takes all of the things that like Paulton does with way too much grains of salt. Like,
Yeah.
True.
he's just, like she thinks he's perfect, and like he's not. So I
This is
like
the-
this. This is
Mhm.
good.
It's good.
I
Mm.
feel like
Evelyn's perspective on
I
the
feel like
world.
he's gonna
Mhm.
drag her down. That's how I feel.
Hmm.
With
Or
Diath in the
he'll give
house,
up.
this would have been a totally different episode. Yes, totally agree. Mickey Mouse, it could talk as a gift to Paulton from the Raven Queen, not from the Soulmonger.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was the Raven Queen gave the ability, and then Simon died and showed up in the Soulmonger.
Yeah.
see.
It's like a split second. He had like 15 minutes of it, and then he died.
It was great.
Pretzel Mafia, do you think Simon will somehow become a real kid again? Can you guys think of any way he could become a real kid?
Reincarnation.
Yeah.
Would that work? Would that work?
Well, he has
Um,
a
I mean,
soul.
yes,
I mean,
So,
Wish could, right?
wish. hmm
That makes sense.
Yeah, wish.
I feel like
deal with the Raven Queen.
hmm
mhm.
I mean, like maybe they're looking for this treasure, right? Yeah, I was like, maybe they could get that treasure, the missing treasure that's everybody in the city's looking for,
Oh, that's
use
been
that and
spoken
trade
for.
it to somebody for a wish.
But
But
that's
Dieth's already
dwarf thing.
it's earmarked for the dwarves, so
Mhm.
he can't do that. They're already in debt. But yeah, if Omen can cast reincarnate,
Mhm.
then
Sure.
just get Omen to bring him back. And you know what's
It-
weird is like they could kill the construct and the group could reincarnate Simon as a living creature, and no one would ever equate the two. Nobody would even know that this is the kid that killed, captured that kid. So he'd have a completely fresh start,
Yeah.
So I wonder if he'd have like a gross gland or something where he could still shoot like
Oh,
darts out of his
my God,
neck.
like a snake. Like a. Oh, no.
Disgusting.
No,
Like,
I'm
yeah.
gonna attribute that to racial features. And
Comes back to the Yanti child.
All right, question: what class would Simon take?
Rogue.
Well, he does jokes, right? So
Oh,
his
bard.
dad is a bard.
Bard,
So he'd
oh
probably be
my
a bard also.
what if he multi-classes Bard Rogue?
Oh my
That'd
God.
be cool. That'd be
Bard
really cool.
Paladin? A little Bard Paladin?
Bard paladin.
He's
And
a
like
trickster
he's-
god.
His powers are delivered via dad joke.
Oh my God.
Be awesome.
Trickster. It would probably be a
So-
trickster god or some
Mhm.
sort.
Mm.
All right, bad 007. We still don't know why he came back as a construct instead of a real boy, even though he died as a real boy.
He had his burnt carcass.
Yeah.
he was pretty clear trying to off himself. Yeah, that was
Mhm.
a little much for me, I'll tell you.
Like, oh no.
D Stunna one, he has a soul, so he should have some idea of moral. Oh, really? He has a soul, so he has morals. I don't know. Does having a soul?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
You do
That never
psychopaths have
supposed to.
souls?
No. Well,
Because-
yes, they do. Yeah. They go to the 9 hells or the
Oh
abyss.
yeah, you become
or Gehenna.
soul grub of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah.
What that was called.
Wow, that's a deep question. If you have a soul, do you have more? Mad Fartigan. He never did become a real boy. The Raven Queen just gave him the ability to speak. Pretzel Mafia. They did leave him alone when Magnus came. Maybe that's why he felt lonely.
He was playing with a bunch of kids. I think that's where he met them at first.
Yeah.
It's not said because it was like months later that this is happening, right? Or is it just a few weeks?
I think it's a few weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it could have been like he went to play with them the first time, and then other times happened in between, and that we don't even know about.
Yeah, because they said that the house wasn't that far away.
Mm-hmm.
There was something that suggested it was right, like the episode before they went to Waffles Inc. I just can't remember what the kid said, but he wasn't there for long, maybe a couple days.
Yeah, because you can't survive for too much long just with like milk and cookies. They felt that kid.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that was it.
Oh, there'd be poor kid.
Omen Duran says, clearly Evelyn should look to someone who could raise a child better, like Omen. True. This makes Omen look good to me. Omen would have handled this very differently, I think.
Omen probably would have just left him at Red Larch or something.
Omen Duran is a master planner. He would have come up with something. That's definitely true. Kaylee Joyo. Maybe Simon just doesn't like that mom and dad are fighting. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Does Simon care?
Were they fighting before that?
No, they're fine. I think. Yeah.
Pretty sure it's clear that Simon prefers Paulton to Evelyn, right?
Yeah.
And I mean Evelyn likes him, but Paulton actually is very involved with him. Goes out of his way to interact with him in like every episode.
That whole scene of when they were on the roof and he was like, "Don't do that again." That was very touching.
When you go up to a room and you see your son has somebody in a chest with holes in it and they're tied up and gagged, I don't feel like the proper response is whatever you're into is okay. Can we please get this kid out of the box? What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a consensual, This is a
like,
10-year-old.
And
now you're really creeping me out, all right?
Paulton.
Insane.
Stop.
I meant the part where he saved him from the horses and they were standing on the roof. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse. I feel like Evelyn and Paulton are like the teen romance, good girl and bad boy, that does not actually work. Interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Accurate.
Yikes. Anisius casually talk about killing Simon, but he's evil. Kaylee Joyo, when you reincarnate, do you keep your memories? Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Spiegelstern, question. Do you think it was fair from Chris to require Juniper from Evelyn to pay for Martin's silence? That's where it got, okay. So the kid was, at first it was like he was doing something nice.
Mm-hmm.
I won't tell my parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he wants the pet.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And that could have been just like an innocent request. A little kid who likes it and he's like, feels like that's a fair trade.
Yeah.
Or this could be the beginning of more requests, each one more ridiculous than the last.
Yeah. I don't think that's what, I think it's that, I think that's the last time we're going to see that kid, but I think Chris wanted to push Evelyn on something because she is getting off on not going to jail or getting in trouble for it, but it is something important to her and see how far you wanted to push it.
Yeah.
I don't, I feel like the kid would not, he didn't seem like vengeful or whatever. He's just scared.
Mhm.
Like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it did seem like scared, and it's one of those therapy animals kind of situation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna need it.
Oh.
Like he seems fine now, but
He's
not
going to
gonna
have
be
some
well,
sort
yeah.
of deep-rooted fear of
Mhm.
dolls,
Oh.
puppets, clowns, and jesters.
Type spaces.
That's
being
funny.
in there.
It's true.
Milk cookies.
Probably
turned out to be-
circuses, no circuses,
No
no
cir-
cookies.
They're gonna
no
make
milk.
him. They're gonna make him milk and cookies. He's gonna cry so hard.
Oh.
I mean, because what could happen now is his parents might go, "Where did you get that mouse?" You know, and then he's gonna have to lie to them. And then if he wakes up with nightmares every night, after a while, you know, his parents will be like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" Eventually, he might just blurt it out, and they're still gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, that was my thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's a kid.
Yeah.
How well do you think a kid can keep a secret like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Well, the
Not
turret's
long.
gone.
Which is to say, loose end is very loose.
D-Stunner. He doesn't have good morals, but he does have a soul. Let's see. Beat Crushers. The second half of the episode was Chris threatening to take all the pets away. I guess,
Threatening or
sort of. True.
taking them?
Does Nazca count as a pet?
No. Well,
No.
he tried. He tried really hard, but he's not.
Listen,
do
Nazca
you guys
needs
think-
to grow a personal space bubble
What?
and learn what the word privacy means,
Evelyn just
and
needs to
not to stalk.
Yeah.
He's a demented
You
little-
only need to learn how to say no.
Yeah. Just
Yes.
the dwarves need some line of like, "This is okay." It's all been dwarves, creepy dwarves.
I thought it would be cool if like, but then they asked him, "Can you build stuff?" I mean, he's a dwarf. Most dwarves are naturally good at making
Yeah.
underground layers, right? But he's missing the hand, and
Did he-
he's sadly just like, "Nope, I can't help you." And it's like, oh, God.
I'm really hoping for that Home Improvement episode with Magnus.
Oh my god, yeah.
That'll be so great.
That was so good. It was like Paulton was the home renovator person who's like, you just need to look at it at a different angle, and if without the walls, and Even's like, what? And until she became the interior decorator, and then she was that. It's great.
Pretzel Mafia says Paulton is a bad parent. That's a fact. Do you agree? Is Paulton a bad parent?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody says yes. Really?
He cares.
point. Yeah.
Caring doesn't make you a good parent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
He hasn't like disciplined Simon like at all. Like even when he's like in that episode where he went to play with the kids, he's like, if you dart anybody, I'm gonna be so upset, but secretly I'll be proud, like kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's trying to balance that like I need to be responsible
Mhm.
kind of thing. Like I don't think understands that he needs to be responsible.
he's being one of those silent enabler types,
Oh.
which is
Yeah.
not good.
I mean, I think Nate was probably playing it like, just kind of like a joke to a degree, but it
Yeah.
got really real
It's
today.
Yeah, it's like today's Chris is like, your actions have consequences.
Yeah, that's what it was
He
like.
was
Look how
fun.
you can oh geez, of course I forget the word in mid sentence. Kids are impressionable, as you
Yeah.
see in Dark and Dicey. We're very impressionable.
Mm.
Or in Hell's Bells.
Oh no. Oh,
I just finished episode 3. I haven't seen 4 yet. Is it
my
bad?
god.
Poor Miga.
Wait,
Oh
poor,
no!
wait for me, guys.
Also, poor
No.
Sean.
No, don't say that. Nothing happened. I hope.
Nothing
Donna's
bad.
going over here like,
Oh, actually, I'm gonna be making their I made the Dice Camera Action wiki. I'll be making the Hell's Bells wiki.
Oh, sweet.
ooh,
We're gonna getting the graphics going right now. So
awesome.
Awesome.
hopefully, eventually, we'll have wikis for all the shows on the D&D channel as we go. So
My
anyway,
God.
let's see. Okay. Mad Fartigan says asking for Juniper was innocent from the kid, but not from Chris. Okay.
Mm-mm.
And
No.
Dran thinks that the kid was doing it on purpose and had an angle. Rowdy Sniper. Evelyn
But
handed
yeah,
him
you're
the mouse.
Omen.
Oh, okay. Sniper points out Evelyn handed him the mouse to hold. It could have just as easily been interpreted as a gift. Okay.
The way kids do sometimes.
That kid is
Strix gave him-
traumatized, so I don't blame him.
You need to outright say, you need to borrow this.
Yeah.
And even then,
The
Even-
thing where Paulton was like, Simon, you're a little young. Oh, gosh. Paulton in front of his friends, putting on a front versus how he is on his own. Yo, that's deep. Is Paulton different when he's on his own? Paulton's more depressed when he's on his own, isn't he?
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We don't.
Yeah. Well, we've seen him with other people. Like, he's like, we haven't seen him like when he was more like open with himself. Like, he's been a
Mhm.
lot more with the group of
Mhm.
late. Like season 1 and season 2, he was
Mhm.
like, "All right, I'll go off with you, Falcon. Let's go have fun, and then I'll crush you."
Yeah.
Signature move.
Or like with the genie
Mhm.
gas dude in season 2.
Oh, yeah.
So he's just like, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see him go off on his own now.
He
I've
was-
noticed that Paulton is more open one-on-one with any of the Waffle crew than he
Mhm.
has been with. If there's a second person, it's not anymore. He's like, nope, not touching this. It has to be a one-on-one with him.
Yeah.
Omen Dran. I'd offer him an internship if he was open to it. Once he gets tired of the
He's
mouse.
11, Omen.
I love Nazca. He's so sad. I like Nazca too. I thought he was funny. And I really like the crossbow hand. I think that's a cool idea. Pretzel Mafia. Can't wait for the Waffle House to become Strahd's castle. I was thinking, all these explosions in the house, they're going to get
Mhm.
complaints like crazy. Their neighbors are going to be like,
So mad.
They blew
So
something
mad.
up again. It's so
There's-
loud.
there's a massive
Noise complaints.
You know, they're like, there's a fireball that goes off and then right next door. It's
I mean,
Wow.
Waffles isn't quiet either.
There was definitely a
many
better
noise
way
complaints.
of
So
getting
many
rid
noise complaints.
of the evidence than just blowing it up.
Yeah.
I think
I
this is the new Strix.
Strix without anxiety is
Mhm.
Strix without
Right.
inhibition.
Oh.
Words, please say it for me.
She's just-
Inhibition.
She's just like more impulsive now. And just doesn't
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
isn't so worried anymore. And
More
now
chaotic.
and she's got all these spells at her disposal. So it's
Oh, yeah.
just like I'm just gonna blow.
I
stuff up.
like it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the small amount she should not drink again because if
No.
she does drink too much, she will become awful Strix.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, is
Yeah.
she? How mad is she gonna be mad at Paulton next episode? Because Waffles is gone.
Oh.
Potentially. But
That's another thing I don't think is. I don't know. Is that anybody's fault? It's just. I mean,
well, they were off taking care of the kids. So I don't think that's anyone's fault.
I mean, if it is,
Except
it
for
might
maybe
be,
Paulton's.
if
You know
it might
what?
be Nazca. No.
Chris.
It's not-
Okay.
It's definitely not.
The people.
Yeah.
This is
Mhm.
very sly of Chris. The beginning of
Mhm.
the episode, Chris went out of his way to have the people of Nightstone give them a cart and a mule, so they didn't say Waffles was pulling the cart.
Mhm.
So that way, Waffles is just kind of there in the background while we're dealing
Yeah.
with the mule. And then later, when they take the cart again, it's the mule. We don't need Waffles for this. Waffles can
Yeah.
stay home.
Waffles, although
Very
That
sly.
was-
Very sly.
although Waffles, like, I think they treat her as a babe, but she is like a gigantic killing machine.
She's old.
She'll
right?
be fine.
Yeah. How did they? Okay. Now, how do you capture an owlbear? That's what I want to know.
Waffles.
Food.
How did they abduct an owlbear? And
How
Oh.
much do they know about the Waffle crew?
if it was Nazca, yeah.
If it was someone
Mm.
who knew that fog spell, what is it? I'm sorry. I'm losing everything.
The fog spell?
Fog cloud?
Fog cloud.
No, no,
Yeah.
Darkness?
no.
The thing
No.
that puts her in a jar.
Yes, that's a
Oh.
trick she knows. It's a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jar.
Oh, the bottle, the dowel.
Mhm.
Cloud person. There we go.
Yeah.
Found it.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. What do you call that? Yeah, I can't remember the name either now.
It's like
She does it all the time. Gaseous
Mhm,
form.
mhm.
Gaseous
Right?
form, yeah.
gaseous form. Thank you,
Mhm.
thank you.
Gaseous
That
form.
that's a game. That's a game. Waffles goes into the jar.
Hmm.
Well, they could
So
have
that
just
could be one way
sedated,
if they know that enough. They could sedate her. Yeah,
sedate her, tie her up, throw her in a cart, throw a tarp over her,
Hmm.
and take
that's
off.
probably the more likely option. But
Oh gosh.
There's all sorts of
Group
ways. you
doesn't
can
even
probably-
lock the doors, do they? They need to get some. Probably should get some arcane lock kind of stuff going there for the house.
I keep thinking Strix does it, but
Security.
those runes don't do anything.
There's that one.
yeah,
There's that one spell. I can't remember what it's called, but it's just like it does a million things to protect your house. Like it fills the room with gas, and it's like makes your hallway long, and all this weird stuff. And if you don't know the command word, you got to deal with all those effects. Can't remember.
that
what
would
it's
be
called.
really cool.
Yeah.
Mojo, isn't Waffles old? Yeah, Waffles
Waffles
lived
is
for
very
50
old.
years in Barovia with
She's like 50,
She's like 50.
50, yeah.
52, something like that, I think.
I think she's closer to like 50 because
50, yeah,
how
yeah.
much time was between her being born, them going to Ironslag, and then
Yeah.
coming back, and then
Feels like ages.
Barovia.
Yeah, it's like a
So
couple
like it's the
50.
travel to Ironslag was a couple weeks, a month, right?
Mm.
it wasn't that
So-
long.
Just 50 years in 2-3 months.
How much time has passed since the start of the campaign? I know the time travel, but the time travel was all they came back to where they left, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It like linearly, not even like less than 2 years.
Yeah.
Like not even that. Maybe like a year, maybe.
I know.
It's like,
there
well, they
was-
did travel a lot
They
in
did.
Schultz. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
account for all
like a
of
couple
the
months. Yeah, so maybe like 2 years. Yeah, I guess.
Right.
Didn't travel all
They did
account for that.
Yeah.
on the airship.
Yeah.
And also in the beginning of Storm King, when they were walking through the woods with the dwarf with no legs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about
That
it.
was I think that was a weeks, maybe months long journey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
It was a long time.
those are kind of the big. Someone said, "Oh, Pretzel Mafia. Will they decide to tell Diath?"
I mean, they should tell DF.
They had better.
Good.
There's enough lies
But
of
they
omission in
won't.
this party.
He's not going to be happy, but they should tell DF. At least Evelyn should tell DF. Evelyn has to tell DF what's going on.
Please let Evelyn tell DF. Let her tell somebody. Because that's not Evelyn.
Yeah.
I feel like he will come back like Waffles is missing, and they're gonna go looking for Waffles, and he's just gonna like be set in the sun, and
Yeah, I
nobody's
don't
gonna
think-
talk about it.
I don't know if they're going to even be in this next one because it seems like it's just gonna be like it's going to be like that. There's an episode of Avatar: Last Airbender that was about like
I was thinking
the
that.
bison on its own. Yeah, and I keep thinking
Right.
that's what they're going to do with it.
Oh god, that'd be so sad.
That was a sad episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's probably not going to. It's probably going to be sad.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
But like, who is everybody going to play if they
I
do
think-
that?
I
That's
think
my
Jared,
question.
Jared should be Waffles again.
Jared should be Waffles.
I really hope so. He makes the best owlbear noises.
But what would the other 3 be?
I think they're saying that it might be like urchins or something like that, like little kids. So I think that was one.
Yeah.
That was one of the options. I think Chris said at some point that they
Yeah.
were like a one-off episode.
Yes, but he did mention that he had 2 ideas.
Mm-hmm.
This might be that other idea.
Maybe it's animals. Maybe they're all
Because he
animals
spoiled
again.
the one that was less
Yeah.
likely to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe Waffles is taken to like a circus or a zoo or something.
Oh, really? That would be weird. Well,
Sad.
if Xanathar took Waffles, then they're probably bringing Waffles to Skullport, which is that place underneath Waterdeep. It's like the hive of scum and villainy, underground, where there's these gangs and stuff like that, and the Xanathar
What's
runs it.
bad?
That's one of those places like I've always thought was cool, but I never really read about, so I don't know much about it. Somebody said, one pointed out, I think it was Spiegelstern said, wanted to admire the character development of Strix, new room, getting drunk, and discovering her tail.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Which
think
was
she
weird.
knows. I think she knows about the. She was just super drunk.
Yeah. She knows about her tail.
Yeah.
She just never
This is like-
showed it to anyone because it was always hiding. She was always
Yeah.
pretending to the best of her ability to be
Mhm.
human. so that people don't look at her with weird, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, you're a tiefling.
I guess
faces.
she was ashamed of the tail, and now she's not.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that the deal?
I mean, when you're 11th level, you don't care as much anymore.
Yeah.
When you're a bee stinger, you don't care as much
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's a prehensile tail, like she can carry stuff with it and stuff like that, right? I'm not sure. Maybe.
Depends, I guess.
Feel like I may be wrong, but I feel like I remember her saying that it was more like a rat's tail.
Oh.
So that might be a different.
Really?
tiefling
It is
character of her.
it is like like a
It's-
devil, so it does have like a little like arrow thing on it. But
Okay,
it's like
so I might be
Yeah.
thinking of her other tiefling character.
yeah,
Alba?
Alba has the rat, but like hers I think
Yeah.
it's like a thin like devil tail. But
Okay.
Yeah.
it could still be like prehensile.
Yeah.
Fardian says, Evelyn lied to the aunt about the kidnapping. So why give Diaz something new to worry about? You guys think, do you think like Diaz, if they told him at the beginning of the next episode, would he stop everything and freak out? I kind of feel like he would.
He would be upset at Simon, but I don't think he's gonna go back and like he's not gonna go back to that. He's gonna be like, I mean, just think about what he did when they destroyed Port 9 Zaro. It's like, no, we're out. We're not going back.
Probably just going to and he'd probably shut down for a little bit.
He would be so mad at Simon.
Mhm.
He's just like, I knew it, you guys. I knew it.
Like,
You
I
don't
just
believe me.
barely started trusting you again.
Yeah, started feeling bad.
Mhm.
Sniper, be curious to see if Rosie ends up with some anxiety issues during the C team tomorrow. She did suggest she takes on the burdens of her children. Yeah, so
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I guess maybe tomorrow we'd find out what the effects of this thing that happened on episode 100 are. With the
Mhm.
Strix is no longer linked to the Skizixes, and maybe Rosie is. Maybe I don't know.
I still think it's an adopted situation, so no one
Yeah.
here is a Skizik anymore.
Yeah. She like disavowed her family and then got a new family.
I just think it's Asmodeus, so there's some kind of
Drawback.
thing. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I
Absolutely.
I can't think of anything else that it might be. Like it must be
Mm.
something, or maybe Asmodeus is just gonna want a favor somewhere down the line, and say I can reverse it if you don't bleh for me, Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
that-
he just
that
ships
sounds
it
like
super hard.
Asmodeus.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Asmodeus is like, I ship it so hard. Oh my god.
'Cause, yeah, it is,
How do we go
I
about
mean, he
that?
said that.
oh, actually, yeah, it is a debt. So like he does like Devil's probably gonna use it at some point.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense to me.
Doesn't seem to have.
Yeah,
His
that whole
he
grandmother night thing that confuses me,
What?
and I want to
No.
know,
Yeah,
and apparently no one does. So
I guess for
Oh.
later.
This might be
Really
something that Rosie's gonna pay for instead of Strix. Maybe Strix
might
is off
be.
the hook,
Mhm.
but this is gonna lead to a whole thing with the Acquisitions Inc. group.
Mhm.
it could,
I feel like the episode
and
100 has brought those two groups closer in terms of storyline,
mhm.
and they
Yeah.
might be trading. Like their stories might be interconnected from now on. to a
more
degree.
guest stars on both of them.
Or at least for like live shows having, because I know the C teams are going to be going at like the live PAXs and stuff like that. So it could have like guests or something like that from one of the Waffle crew.
I mean, I would guess sooner or later, those big Acquisitions Inc. shows, the live ones.
Mhm.
I would guess some kind of thing where you get most of the Waffle crew involved or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Because this is more like, Acquisitions Inc. Chris used to DM it. And now the C team is get pretty big.
Mhm.
Chris still runs the big ones, but
Yep.
kind of feel like this is sort of like Chris is bringing the Waffle crew up. And I don't know where it's all going to lead, but I kind of wonder. I think Chris will always run those Ack Inc. live shows, but
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
feel like the
'cause-
Waffle crew is going to end up with something similar at some point.
Yeah, because I mean, even like I was watching for like the dual DM. There was definitely there's still that thing where
Oh, no.
Chris is kind of like the higher DM of the two, still a little bit.
I like how Asmodeus just talked to himself.
Mhm.
That
Good.
was weird.
It was good.
I liked it.
That's why
Yeah.
It made sense.
they
Yeah.
need to
Because-
run Demogorgon because Demogorgon has two heads, and that would have been perfect. So.
Yes.
Because they are the Demogorgon then.
Mhm.
So a Demogorgon would make total sense.
Pretzel Mafia. What do you think of Evelyn's shield? Yeah, what was that
I
shield?
know.
I know. Yeah.
I'm super excited about it.
Yes, it's cool.
What is
Yeah,
it?
go ahead.
Okay, let me find it again. Hold on. I wrote it down. Okay. Evelyn's shield is a shield of expression.
Hmm.
It has the face of a person. It just says a likeness of someone. And you can use your bonus action to change its expression.
It's so good. It's so good. Do we know where those came from?
No.
Was it? Mm.
And I'm excited to find what DF has because he recently got a magical item. So I wonder. They're all the Xanathar's guy.
Yeah, they're all like the
mundane.
Cool, the cool like common items. Yeah.
I really love Paulton's cape. It's
so good. I love that cape.
What did they just? Yes, if so many people in the chat called it, and was like, I wonder who said it first. I'm really curious. But yeah, so many people called. Oh, it's a cloak of billowing. As soon as Strix's was the spice bag.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, that's a mundane item. I read that one. And so I was like, it's a cloak of billowing.
Yep. There's like only 2 cloaks, and I'm pretty sure, like it was, both those are really good. Both the clothes are fun.
Kaylee Joyo says, we might have to wait 2 weeks to find out DS present.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Why
We'll
2
see.
weeks?
Because if next week is the event,
like
then-
the pet episode.
Oh. The new pet episode.
Yeah.
It's always, those are always so fun.
I
Like,
love those.
yeah.
I love
This
those.
might be the urchin episode.
Maybe. Like
Or-
Rena said, it could be the other one that he hasn't said yet.
Because if it's, I mean, if Jared's playing Waffles, who's everybody else gonna play?
that's what I'm scared of.
I just like Jared playing Waffles. It's always like a ton of pressure on him. Like he was so like, I can't
so
get
worried.
this animal hurt. I can't get this
Honestly,
animal hurt.
For
Mm.
me, what I saw was it grew on him with that episode. I feel like
Yeah.
having the owlbear.
Yeah,
Just like,
I think
Yeah.
I think
Because
he
before
stated
that-
as much that like he was like indifferent to it, but then like he played Waffles and he's like, this is my daughter now. I can't.
I'm also
Exactly.
like wondering how far Chris is gonna would let Waffles be like hurt, because I have never seen anybody like as angry in a crowd as when the thought of Waffles being hurt. Like it was like it was loud and like no, it's like ooh, don't touch Waffles, like leave Waffles alone.
Mm.
It's always the pets.
it always scares me as well because knowing how old Waffles is, it's like how old are owlbears? And every time I think about it, like, nope, not gonna touch that for a while.
She's magical, okay? She bathes in the same goat's blood.
To be real, Strix might have done that.
I think
Yeah.
when he
It's a lot of goats.
described her aging, he did say that she's his gray fur or whatever feathers, and she's pretty old now. So
Yeah.
how old do
although-
regular bears live?
Not that. I don't know, but I think he said that like she wasn't close to being old age, like deathly old yet.
Like it might be like that one thing where stress gives you gray hair.
True. Yeah, Barovia, the
That
woods.
thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Barovia the Woods, Strix freaking out all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaylee Joyo. I don't think that Chris would kill Waffles, but potentially she could die of old age. I think Chris would kill Waffles. He would.
I don't know.
He would.
Potentially.
I mean,
I feel like somebody would murder him.
if it just happened in the game, right? He would. Waffles is dead. He
The
would-
dice fall as they may.
Oh my god. I'm wondering if, would he have if Paulton didn't roll that high?
Mhm.
Simon dead.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Trampled,
Mhm.
blown
Sure.
into
In
smithereens.
fact, he
Yeah.
even threw in a second save. Remember, he saved
Yeah.
the kid, and then it was like, "Oh, you might crash into the
Yeah.
wall." I was like,
Yep.
"Oh, okay, I see what we get." Okay,
I mean, try.
he had something in mind there. If
Yeah.
I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
what's going on here?" Age the Mage points out if Evelyn has a shield, the shield might be in the form of a bracelet. like Evelyn, because Evelyn has her bracelets
The
that act as a
bracers.
shield,
Mhm.
but now she has a shield, so it's like, she switch it? I feel like the shield is going to be this weird gimmick where it's just kind of a comedy thing that actually you might be able to do
Could
some
be.
really cool things with.
But
I bet.
yeah, you might be able to pull that Aegis thing with the Medusa face on the front. That just
Mm.
constantly intimidation, improve your intimidation check kind of situation.
And
Or
because-
she would wear it on the back like a turtle, and
Mhm.
or like in Legend of Zelda, just crouch.
yeah.
And I mean, if somebody has ventriloquism, she might be able to pretend to make it talk. And
Mhm.
Magic mouth.
I'll put a
Yes.
magic mouth on it. Oh, that'd be so cool. There's
That'd be great.
all sorts of
That'd be great.
cool things you could do with that.
Mhm.
Matt Fartigan says he thinks bears live for 15 to 20 years. So.
Yeah, I just checked that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think they
So
might?
Waffles has definitely bathed in goat blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Got it.
fine. It's fine.
Do you think they might consider finding a male owlbear and making another waffle baby? Guess.
I don't know.
Maybe that's what they're going
Based off of Strix, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, Waffles.
Strix is a wild card now.
Yeah.
to.
Who knows?
Like, I want to see what, like, how she acts around Dieth now that she doesn't necessarily have like some of this stuff lifted, because we haven't seen that yet, or then like that split second.
Yeah, that just like, okay, go do your thing.
She did say, like, have you guys noticed that Dieth is always sad? That was really interesting. I wonder if she's gonna be like more comforting, or like notice that Dieth gets upset.
Empathy +5.
Maybe.
This might be like a big shift for her character to go from the fearful. I mean, because she was like rolling on the ground screaming over everything.
Yeah.
Now, she just launches off a fireball to just for fun.
I mean, there are things where you talk about like what you want to do with your character, and those things, you don't know if those things, it's a long-term thing, but sometimes like DMs will give you kind of like that option to like do that thing. I'm wondering if it's like one of those things.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I feel a little bit like Strix's alignment. Wasn't she chaotic good or something like
She's
this?
still
Yeah, so it might have kind of went from chaotic good or chaotic scared to chaotic dumb. Just stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
But I don't know because she was drunk during that time. It's great. It's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe in the beginning it's going to be like a release, where she's going to have a few episodes where it's just kind of like letting it all out and then kind of gathering herself from there.
Yeah, because
moving forward, possibly.
There was because it's like the last change for Strix was drastic to like the Barovia thing to
that's true.
To Chult was pretty drastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a recuperation period.
I wonder if like from now on, when Strix is hit with, you get the frightened condition a lot in D&D. I wonder if when she gets hit with that, if she'll revert to old Strix while that condition is on. That would be weird. Kaylee Joyo, I just want the Waffle Crew to be happy and pretty much immortal, but Chris Perkins is in charge, so that's not going to happen.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yep.
I thought today was going to be just a goofy episode.
Me too.
Yeah,
at first.
Because the
I
last
did not think that.
5 were rough. The last 5 were rough, right?
The last 5 were not bad.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Well,
he's been taking it easy on them for the last couple episodes.
Yeah.
What I was expecting, just because of like Chris being the whole something bad's gonna happen on Twitter, and then the beginning of this episode made me feel like, oh, it's gonna be okay, and then no, and as soon as he's like, oh, it's gonna go bad any minute, we gotta wrap this up, I'm like, oh no.
Because like every time like the last 12 episodes, when bad things are happening, it's been like lighthearted at the very beginning. Because I remember when Evelyn and Simon died, it was like, oh, it's funny. He speaks in like these little dad jokes. It's not that it's like, oh, they're dead now.
Yeah, but that wasn't supposed to go that way.
Yeah.
It's not that maybe.
All right. think we'll wrap it up from there. Why don't
Oh,
we guys got any final thoughts before we wrap it up? Anybody in the chat got anything you want to get off your chest before we wrap it up?
I'll just say that I'm looking forward to them having level 6 spells.
oh yeah.
That's right.
Level up.
That should be some fun shenanigans.
I missed. They hit level 11, and Chris went over what they were going to get. Did he
Yep.
do that? I missed that part because I was setting up. What did he say? Do you remember any of it?
Yeah. Evelyn, I think, gets a powerful. I think a more powerful smite, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Divine Smite.
Divine smite. Diath gets better sneak attack, and the 2 casters get level 6 spells.
Also, Diaz
Level
can't
6.
roll under 10.
Yes.
Things you
Oh,
prefer.
That's so good. That's so good.
Nice. So they're now okay. So episode 101 is where they hit level 11. So every 10 episodes they level. I mean, that's not a. But
On average.
On average, I mean, they haven't leveled for a long time. It's just I think whenever they hit some point.
All right. So why don't we do plugs real quick? Aya, do you have any plugs?
Yes! Oh my gosh. You can catch me on, I'm sorry, I'm so excited. You can catch me on Sundays on Dungeon Academy, Fridays on Retroverse, and the 28th we're doing a co-DM super awesome one-shot where everybody goes to a ball and all the characters are morons. It's gonna be so much fun.
Gonna be
And I have one more thing. I'm starting a superhero RPG podcast with a couple of cool people, and it's gonna be super fun. It's called Written in Stone, and if you want to know more, I'll probably be posting about it soon on Written in RPG on Twitter. So go check that out. It's gonna be so much fun. I've been working on this for a year. It's gonna be great.
Whoa! Oh, awesome. Rena, you got any plugs?
You can find me at MIKO_CARINA. As Aya said, I'm the co-DM for that. So it's going to be a ball. We heard about the co-DMing with Chris and Jerry, and we're like, well, better take notes. So we took notes.
Oh my gosh, so exciting.
There's that. I also write Dark and Dicey recaps, which I'm still catching up on. Once you get behind,
I know.
Yeah.
difficult to catch up.
You're
So
done.
hang on, I'm working on it. I promise.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Shauna, got any plugs?
Yes. This weekend I'll be on this channel, Parscore RPG, finishing up the DM Guild adventure, Lich Queen's Begotten, which has been, we are a chaos party in the greatest sense. But also Sundays at 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific, Hell's Bells on the D&D channel. Just going through the Great Mojon March, and it's been great so far. It's been
super good.
It's been super fun.
I love all the characters. They're so good.
Yeah. There's some good stuff with figuring out what the paladins' mounts are. So it's been great.
I won't spoil it, but it's fantastic.
I'm still catching up on that too.
I'm actually about to watch episode 4 tonight. I just finished 3 before this show. Rowdy Sniper points out that he was amusing himself with the idea of Diath having all sorts of mishaps and maladies while on his fishing trip. Dorth goes fishing. That sounds pretty interesting, actually.
That's a
roll
deep
strength for reeling in the fish.
With his -1 strength.
Oh no.
Oh, that's right.
He could just use his throwing daggers to catch fish, maybe.
Right, but that's not gonna work either.
Just use Moon Splinter because it can come back.
Yeah, because it can come back, right?
There you go.
He can't lose his dagger anymore.
He can still miss, but he can't lose it.
So yeah, tomorrow I'll be on the Greyhawk channel as a player in Mordenkainen's Path of the Plains. Grant Ellis is the guest DM, so you might want to check that out. And then Thursday I'll be running a game at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Greyhawk channel, Secrets of Castle Greyhawk. We're gonna have a new player actually. Lauren Irwin can't make it anymore, so Kika from, I believe, Encounter Roleplay is gonna be there. So we'll be doing that, and then Saturday I'm gonna do a little experiment. I'm going to try to run 2 games in the same day. So at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'll run Peril at the Port. That's going to be really good. Spoiler alert. They're going to create a dinosaur stampede to try to drive the pirates out of the city. That's what's in the adventure. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. And then at 6:30,
That
we'll
sounds like
Yes.
a ball.
yeah, right. And then
Ah.
at 6:30, we're gonna do the rest of the Lich Queen's Begotten with a really wacky group of
God.
players.
It's been a real weird Twitter. I'll say
I am so proud of that. That is my work.
Yeah, that one started out with everybody rolling to see what their butts looked like, and it just went downhill from there. So, but we
Thanks,
should
Saya.
we
You're
should.
welcome.
Yeah, sounds good.
And Lindy couldn't make it last time, but she will be able to play for this one, so that'll be
Oh,
even
boy.
weirder. And then so
She's gonna roll for butt, right?
She's a monk. She's gotta have good
I
butt.
guess I don't know.
Well, we have everybody else's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. So
Gotta make it even.
so Sunday we'll do more Dungeon Academy where they're gonna go the route of 7 parts. And they'll be doing some spell jamming. So because people seem to really
yeah.
like Spelljammer.
Oh,
Like I
that
did
really,
one.
Oh, yeah, you guys got the
if it's
ship.
spell
That's right.
jamming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
you
did-
got the dragon
I-
ship. We need to name it still.
I did one Spelljammer show on my channel, and like it's one of the most popular shows. People still keep watching it. It's just like, oh, people like Spelljammer, huh? Also, the web DM guys were on it, so that might be part of the reason why. But this Saturday experiment is kind of like I want to see, because in a few months I'm going to be running Hell's Rebels, which is a Pathfinder adventure path, which I'm going to convert to 5th. And I'm also going to be running the Waterdeep Dragon Heist and then Dungeons of the Mad Mage. So I want to see if I can do it where I just run both every week on Saturday. One would be at 3 and one at 6:30, and that way we could just do it every week. Because right now I'm staggering them every other week, and it just feels kind of weird. It feels like I should try to do them weekly if I can. So yeah. Anything else anybody else wants to cover before we say goodbye?
Simon is a good boy.
Oh yes. They on Power Scores YouTube there is a coverage from the big DCA 100 Waffles Inc. event.
Mm-hmm.
Took a show and it was cool.
Go check out the Waffle Talk Twitter. I post many fan arts there. So
Yeah.
go.
Yes,
go
check
look
out
at
Twitter.
them.
Mhm.
It's so much fun.
It's doing such a good job with that.
Yeah.
You said spell jamming, and it made me want Brave Sweet to level in Bard even more.
Oh god, yes.
Hmm.
Lily
So
is
that she
gonna
can
be the
spell jam.
captain.
Oh, and also, I've got the Dice Camera Action wiki updated, and I'm going to post this episode tonight, so it'll all be there. Go in there and fix it up, please, because I try to get it all right,
It's a
but
lot.
It's
I
a wiki.
Yeah.
sometimes. So.
It was like
Do what you can.
4 episodes worth of stuff, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those are in there. I did all of them. So now I'm going to do today. We're going to be completely caught up. So.
God.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for
Good job,
watching.
Jen.
Thanks.
Thank
We
you.
will
Bye.
see you all
See
again
ya.
later. Thank you very much.
See you.
Yeah.